Okay, so good afternoon and welcome to Team 217512 camp. We're going to have a chat with Michael Steward this afternoon, the driver of the 512 machine. But we've also got a couple of special guests as well. We'll have Derek Fairhurst, who we'll have a quick 5 or 10 minutes with. And we've also got Dave Beresford as well, which he'll be willing to ask him. He's off to the loo at the moment. So it will be good to have Dave on and Derek as well. But we are going to start with the man of the moment, Michael Steward, 512. So good afternoon, first of all.
Afternoon.
How's Christmas and New Year been for you?
Really good.
Excellent.
Stayed at home with a little lad, Mrs. and Dylan. Really good. Good family time, not been in the garage at all.
No?
Good thing, really, but bad as well. But yeah, really nice, thank you.
Brilliant. So we've got loads of questions who've come in. We've got the car here. If we just have a quick look around the car. Done much to it this winter yet?
No, not really. I mean, we refurbed it at the end of last year, middle of last year, did a couple of meetings, so it's ready to go.
All
Bit
right.
of a maintenance and a look over and we're ready to go.
Well, we'll come back to the 2019 season in a moment. But first of all, let's we've had a couple of questions about what you did before Formula One.
Yeah.
So I believe you raced mini stocks.
I did.
Was that national or the Orky ones?
National mini stocks.
And how did that go?
Good.
Good.
It was all right. Didn't do it for long. I started a bit late, really. I was 13 going on 14.
Okay.
So I didn't have much time, two and a half seasons. But yeah, it was good.
Excellent. And Danny Waymans sent a question in, just asking how many races did you win in mini stocks?
They reckon one. In my head I won loads, but no. One, and I think that one got took off me.
Oh, right, okay. Is that what he's on about when he said if you said more than one, you're lying? Right, okay. And where was that? Can you remember?
Barford.
At Barford,
A
right.
working farm.
Excellent. Cool. Was it always the plan to go into Formula One, or did you think of looking at other formulas first of all, between the mini stocks and the senior formulas?
I did look at. I had a couple of going to V8. That was old man Frank's V8. I had a couple of goals in that, but yeah, it was always the plan to get in an F1 when we could.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, got loads of people watching. Got nearly 100 people already watching, which is really good. Everybody got any questions? Do send them in. It will be great to put them to Michael live here, not pre-recorded. We are live, so you can get your questions into Michael straight away. Why F1? So yeah, ultimately, I know it's the ultimate oval sport, but what drew you to Formula One racing?
Oh, well, obviously my dad that took me racing firstly, but my granddad used to race back in the day.
Yeah.
He hell drivers mainly, but he had to go in the F1s, so that's how we knew about it. My dad used to do it. They used to run all the Mike Parker tracks and all that, so my dad was into it. He took me, and obviously I was a kid, seen the minutes, said I want one, and here we are.
And your granddad's Keith? Was it? Yeah. See, I have done some prep work for it. Yeah. So it's basically just me the same with my daughter. I've dragged her in when she was young, and she's stuck with it watching. So that's how you got into it, the Formula One. So what's it like? I don't ask this usually. What's it actually like driving a Formula One? What sort of rush do you get? What could you compare it to?
I mean, I don't think you can compare it to anything. It's good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's scary as well. It's you're flying down and you feels faster than it looks when you're in them. Yeah. And obviously you've got them all circling in the back here and all over the place. But it is good. The buzz is great. And when you do well, it's even better. It's great.
Excellent. Brilliant. So looking over your history, there was only the 2 meetings in 2019, which again we'll come back to in a second, but I think I've got you as 10 race wins in total and a meeting final. Yeah. So can you remember when that was?
15 or 16, 2000 at Birmingham.
Birmingham, right.
My first semi-final meeting it was.
Right.
My first semi-final, I qualified 7th for world final, and then I won the final. So it was a great day.
You can remember what the feeling was?
Oh yeah, it was unbelievable. Me and my dad were over the moon. Yeah.
Makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it? All the time and effort that you put in for a little plastic trophy. It's amazing how it makes you feel, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is.
Brilliant. So we've got a few more questions. So we've got Christopher has sent one in. Thanks, Chris. Funniest moment. So what's your funniest moment in Formula One? Anything stick out?
No.
No?
We've had some good times, don't get me wrong, but I think it's more the socialising part of it that's the best bit. Well, not the best bit, but the fun bit, isn't it? The racing's quite serious, and Yeah, that probably the socialising's a fun.
Definitely helps, doesn't it? That side of it, yeah. I don't know what my Daniela's laughing at behind me, so something's going. Oh, Doty's just hiding. So that's all right. So you've been over to Holland a couple of times, is it now? Plans for more Dutch racing?
Yeah, I would like to go more. Like go over with Luke and Tom and that when they race, hopefully. Not with them, but
like the Gold Cup weekends and stuff like that.
Obviously, the Gold Cup I do anyway, but they go more times. I'd like to go a few more times, but just with time and work as usual. Same for anyone. But I would like to do a few more meetings in Holland.
But their tarmac scene is a bit down in the dumps at the moment, isn't it, with Kyle numbers and things?
You say so, yeah,
but the shale or the dirt racing, is like massive, isn't it, at the moment?
It is. The dirt racing's a lot bigger over there, yeah, but I think it's tarmacs, they say the same over here, don't they? So it's no different.
And just going to ask you about the tarmac shale situation. It says to me that you don't do shale.
No, I don't do shale. No.
Any reason for that?
Mainly time.
Okay.
I mean, just having one car takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And that's why I have to have the time out to get our house, have the children and that. And bit of time with the family, and that's what we did. And it's sound now. We'll get back into it. Yeah, I had a lot of time, and I work on the building site, so I'm full of mud all week. I don't want to be racing in it.
That's it. So we're going on to the 2019 season. It was just the 2 meetings, so that was down to you, the family side coming first, of course.
Yeah, I got the car ready because I knew that was it. Now I'm ready to go back for a bit. So I got the car ready, and then we did a Buxton, then went to Holland, and then in Beresford, and after that I couldn't do any more because of work. Yeah. We're going to do Skegness and that, but just work got in the way and weren't able to do it.
Well, you've got to pay the bills, haven't you? Sort of situation, yeah. So one from Dave Hawke was saying, which sort of connects into that information there. Sorry, not from Dave Hawke, from Paul Ingermells was saying, because you had the time away, did you notice any difference in the tarmac racing?
I haven't, yeah. I mean, obviously the back inside tyres changed since I stopped. It was the rally tyre. Yeah. We've gone on to the tarmac tyre, but I prefer this tyre. It's a lot less. Probably shouldn't get into tyres, should I?
Well, no, that's fine, mate. Say whatever you want.
No. A lot better, to be honest, with this tyre. I much prefer it than the rally tyres. Yeah.
Well, I think that there has been a general consensus, I think, that this tyre is a good one. But it is still a bit stupid in my eyes that you've got different tyres for different corners on the car. Yeah. I was going to say mainly shale, of course, because you've got 4 different tyres, but tarmac, it's the same, isn't it? You've got different tyres on the front than what you've got on the back, and it's a 3 out of 4. So in relation to costs, etc., that can't be helping the drivers, can it?
I mean, possibly not, but there's always going to be different tyre. We can't, unless we run all the same, but then they're not going to, I don't know, struggle. Yeah,
that's fine, thank you. Right, okay, so Alex Daniels has mentioned about the general area of how the sport is heading. Unfortunately, we've heard about Bellevue now has got houses built on it. Hope you're not building the houses on them. No. We've had Stoke, of course, and then we've got this overhanging Birmingham now, haven't we, with HS2 and the council. That's 3 tracks gone in 3-4 months. How, in your opinion, is the sport heading in relation to maybe trying to get to other places? What do you think can be done?
I know behind the scenes they're trying. All the Brisca team, the BSCDA, they're all trying to get the tracks. It's very hard. It's what it is at the end of the day, but we've just got to carry on, we keep enjoying it and keep coming, watching the racing. That's all we can do, isn't it?
That's it. So Wayne, a bit more. Why 512?
Well, 512 is after my mini stocks. I used to mechanic with Danny Wayman. Okay. So about 8-9 years I was helping Danny. And it was him who really let me have a go in his F1 first. And I think I wanted number 70 like he had him in minis, but I couldn't have it, it was taken. So we just went for 512, which was Danny's first number, and he already had the backboards
up
at the farm ready and stuff, so yeah, it was just easy to put them on.
Excellent. And just coming back to Andy's asking about costs, etc. Have you got any sort of suggestions that we could help reduce the costs on the cars, or do you think BSCDA and Brisca are doing everything they can to assist that side of it?
I mean, I think so, yeah. It's expensive, but I think any motorsport's expensive. Yeah. So, at the minute, I don't think it's too bad. don't get me wrong, anything can be cheaper, can't it? But I think it's quite good at the minute.
Excellent. Okay, so one question off. I don't even know. I want to ask this one from Mr. Sargent. The colour of your hair. That's all I'm going to say. Is it ginge?
I don't know where this has come from, but I know what he's like. But I don't know. No.
No. No's the answer. Thank you. So for the future then. So we've had a quick look at 2019, 2020. Like you said, your car's ready. So the plan, I presume, more meetings, as many as you can.
As many as I can this year. Hopefully, we'll get in every tarmac meeting if possible, which should be all right. And then probably try and do a few shale as well, I think, because there's probably not going to be so many tarmac meetings as there used to be, is there, with the track? So mainly probably Kings Lane. It's pretty much tarmac in it after a few laps. So it's a good track. Take a tarmac car on, I think. Yeah,
because I think it's been said before that you can take a tarmac car on shale and still be competitive, but you can't take a shale car on tarmac because you wouldn't be anywhere near competitive. So you wouldn't need to change much, would you, to stick
Not
it
really.
over?
I mean, I can't change much unless I redo the whole car, but yeah, it should be fine.
Excellent.
See how it goes.
Brilliant. So want to mention any sponsors, things like that?
Yeah, all my sponsors, greatly appreciated, obviously. Got Jay Davidson, good sponsor, good friends. Parky Planters, we all hire all our machinery off at work, he's a great help. Lee and Derek, Fairhurst, they help me a lot with car setup and everything. EDA, he does me engines. We've got the Shaw tyres, Steve, he helps us out a lot. TMR supplies, and obviously Boundary Garage, he does all the paintwork and everything. And my mum and dad, IMS Construction, and all that's our main one. That's what funds it, really.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So fixtures are not out yet. So I'm assuming it's usually Skegness is the
the Good
first
Friday,
weekend, isn't it? But they keep moving out Easter around anyway, don't they? So we'll hopefully be seeing you at Skegness, of course. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So we just quickly go around the car. We'll just point out anything that. Like, for example, all the little pipe work and everything, is that just keeping your brakes cool and stuff?
I don't usually run these at home, but because we went to Holland, obviously, big fast track, brakes get hot, so we put them on. I don't really see the benefit of them, but
okay.
Most people do. We tried them anyway.
And I believe the shockers are being changed as well. What's your opinion
What's
your opinion on the shockers then?
Well, that's fine, it's whatever, we can't do anything about it, can we? But we've still got all year to run what we've got.
But do you think the new shocker is going to be better? Is it more of a solid one?
I mean, until we try it, I can't tell
know.
Can't tell you, but it to be fair, it's got a bigger shaft and it does look a bit more robust.
Because they have been a bit flimsy, these ones, haven't they?
They are really, yeah. I mean, but they are a good shock, but yeah, just a bit weak.
Excellent. Really. So just have a look around the back, of course, and again, anything special that you have on your car, or anything you don't want to mention?
Really?
No, just bog standard stuff.
Yeah, we changed when I rebuilt it this year. Changed all the suspension, just to modernise it, a bit all up to date.
So is it sort of 4-link?
Well,
end, or?
It's a 3-link really. Two links on the back, but just the one at the front.
All right.
So
okay.
It's just a free link really.
Right. Okay. No problems. And
I found it was better than when I previously raced it with just a single link.
Right. Okay.
I just had a single link before.
You used to have quite plenty of room in the car. Compared to some I've seen, some have been quite compact.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time getting my floor lower and all that when I redid it, because I always struggled for leg room. I have really long legs for some reason, but I'm still only 5'10".
Okay.
I don't know why. I just have really long legs.
Okay, because you've got to be comfy, of course, haven't you? Because the way you're all strapped up, where you can't hardly move, it's not nice when you've got your legs touching your chin and stuff, is it?
Yeah, you've got to become. I think it's the most important thing myself. You've got to be comfy.
And what engine do you run? What do you have under yours?
V8 Chevy.
Yeah, for
small block.
Small block.
Yeah, only 406.
Okay.
But it's a good engine, very good engine.
Because that seems to have been the trend now, hasn't it? It's been going over to small blocks from the big, isn't it? I think everybody's got a small block now, haven't they, virtually?
Pretty much, yeah.
And is that just down to how the power is put to back wheels? Does that make it easier to pull away, or the weightage of the engine, or?
I think weight's got something to do with it, yeah. Also, the stopping of the car, they stop a bit with a small.
Oh, the engine braking.
Yeah, the engine braking's a lot better in a small block than it is in a big block. I mean, I'm not that clued up on engines, but I know that most things,
Excellent.
Not as much power, so you can probably be a bit rougher on the throttle in a small block than a big block.
Excellent. So if we move back around that way, if you don't mind, that'd be great. So anybody you want to thank who helps you out at the meetings and things?
My dad, mainly me and my dad. Like Lee and Derek always help me out. All Team Fairhurst lads help us. We usually part together, so they all help us. Just my dad is a big one. My uncle Dave helps us a lot. My mum and my Mrs Janine, obviously they're always making the brews, the food. That's a big part as well, isn't it? Keeps us all hydrated and fed.
That's it.
Yeah, just everyone.
And can you just give us an idea what's going on in Team 512-217 at the moment? Are we just refurbing Lee's cars over this side?
His tarmac car. Well, he's not refurbed, he's just took the engine out. I think it was a bit smoking out of one end.
Oh, right.
So he's having a look at that. And that's it, I think that's all he's doing with that one. We've got the old World Final winning triggers broom here.
Yes.
All ready, ramped, ready to go, but he prefers this black one.
Right.
Car.
But how old is this car now? It must be
I think
getting on a bit, isn't it?
not 100% best asking Derek, I think it's like 14 years old.
Wow.
Now.
It just looks mint though, doesn't it? How they look after it.
Yeah, it's had a big revamp.
Excellent. Well, we do appreciate your time, we really do, and thank you very much for stepping in as well. That was awesome. As people know, we were going to be chatting with Badley, but unfortunately he's down south working now, so do really appreciate you stepping in. We're just going to get Derek coming round in a moment, and Dave Beresford as well. And we'd like to wish you a Happy New Year, of course, from all the fans.
Same to everyone.
Brilliant. And we'll hopefully get Derek on in a second. So we do really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Anybody who's watching, please do send your questions in. There's 140 odd of you watching now. So please do send your questions in for us. And then we can ask Michael anything that you want to know. Or if you've got any questions for Derek or Dave Beresford. So hopefully they'll be here in a minute. So I'm just
bypassing me now to get asking them to.
I know. We have got Lee here, but Lee, of course, has got the other interview coming on tonight. So it's just a quick hello to Lee.
Make sure you ask me that. When he got fourth at World Final, ask him to tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
Twice.
Well, it's Happy New Year to Lee, and many congratulations, of course, to you and Jacqueline.
Yeah, thank you.
Not just on the baby, but on the engagement as well. So many
much.
congratulations.
Happy New Year, everyone. Yeah.
Brilliant. And like I said before, she's settling for you, isn't she?
Yeah, she's
You're punching above your weight, aren't you?
Bit, but, yeah.
No worries. Brilliant. Cheers, Lee. So I've got Derek and Dave. So we'll have a quick word with Derek first. Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Don't ask me about anything controversial, otherwise I might give you the wrong answer.
You can then say whatever you want, mate. Say whatever you want. So
love my wife to bits.
So main one is obviously track's closing. What's your thoughts about what's going on at the moment?
Closing, it's like I say, it's we should have really looked at this a bit more before we are looking at it now. You know, I've always thought that the drivers should have their own track anyway. I've always thought that for years and years. Tracks that are rented are always going to be, they're going to go. They're going to go. You know what I mean? We need to own a track. Definitely need to own a track. And if it was me, promoter-wise, or if I had enough money, I'd own a track rather than rent it.
Okay. And if we could put our future hats on and say 10 years down the line, how do you think the sport will be looking?
I think 10 years down the line, unless something's not done very quickly, I don't think we'll be here. Personally, that's my opinion. I've been lucky enough to see the best of stock, what I call the best of stock cars before the internet and before all the controversial stuff that gets put on the internet. You could say lies and stuff like that, whatever you want to say, because people don't realise what goes on behind the scenes. We don't sometimes know what the promoters are doing behind the scenes.
That's it.
But I think if you think about it realistically, unless we do something now to secure the future of it, I don't think it'll be here in 10 years.
Okay. Well, let's be a bit more brighter now. Not
Yeah,
serious.
I'm trying not to be gloomy, but
no, it's realistic though. It's realism, isn't it? Yeah.
Every driver puts a huge investment into, whether you own one car or two cars, there's a huge investment in a car.
Yeah.
I.e., the engines you need to be running, the car itself that you need to be competitive, and then the price of diesel, price of petrol. A lot of people don't like all the open noise of the engines now, and the environment.
We're very anti-PC, aren't we?
Well, that's it, yeah, because most council people have got to think about what's going on environmental-wise,
of course,
and that's what will kill the job.
Yeah. And I know you're a big advocate of trying to keep costs down in the sport. We're moving to new shockers, which should last a bit longer than the ones we've currently been using. So I hope that's a positive, I would have thought. Or is it a case where we're having to buy a whole new lot of
positive.
shockers again?
My thoughts on the shockers, obviously the committee have chosen the shocker that they think. That's not the shocker that I would have chosen.
Okay.
I'd have gone one that was slightly dearer, but a lot more compatible to the cars.
Right.
And a lot more hardy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But they picked that one. I had no vote, so
no.
That's why I don't go to the meeting anymore. If you no vote, sit there for hours listening to other people.
Yeah. And tyres as well. We were just talking to Michael about tyres. More on shale, isn't it? Where we've got a different tyre for every corner. What do you think about that?
I can't understand the tyre job sometimes. They just make it more expensive for everybody. The tyre job itself, Lee did a bit of tyre testing with Frank, and the outside rear, there's no need for that tarmac outside rear whatsoever.
Right.
The shale tyre is marginally slower, but if you've got a shale tyre on there, you've got the same tyre that you used on shale, you can then put on tarmac for a little bit. Yeah. Same as the inside rear. I think that inside rear tyre is open to abuse. It's too wide, I think.
Right.
You can go back to the good old days, but having too much power is great.
Yeah.
But the leveler is trying to get that power onto the thing.
Yeah.
So yourself with Lenny Wolfenden and Smith in the past.
Oh yeah.
They had loads of power.
Yeah.
But couldn't get it down, so it made it a lot equal for the drivers that were lower down.
That's right.
That couldn't afford all the big engines, and it's exactly the same these days. You make the tyre so you can't put as much power down. It's a more leveler surface for the guys that haven't got fantastic amounts of memory.
Brilliant. Well, let's look back in your racing career itself. Lee's asked me to ask you about your 4th place at the World Final.
Yeah.
Still got memories of that?
Yeah, I've got memories of it. Yeah. The 4th place, the most memorable one, was Peter Folding pinching my 3rd place, which he could tell you about if you ever. He didn't pinch it. He did race to get it, but unfortunately, if you ever watch the video, I were lying 3rd, Frank and Lundy were 1st and 2nd,
right,
and Peter was almost a lap down at the point that became a stoppage.
I remember watching it, yeah.
And luckily for Peter, there was a stoppage,
right,
and he overhauled me for 3rd place.
Bloody yellow flags, eh?
By making up 3/4 of a lap that needn't have been there.
Right, but they haven't annoyed those yellow flags, are they?
No, about it. I used to enjoy my racing because I used to enjoy the social side a lot more than what we've got these days.
Yeah.
And that's gone a little bit
these
days.
Yeah, I think
you don't want to socialise with some people that you don't want to be with or whatever. So I don't socialise as much.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a kid, when we went to Sheffield, we go to that pub that was the other side of the car park.
Yeah.
Nobody does that anymore, do they? They just want to rush home, don't they?
Driving laws are a lot dearer, a lot stricter now, obviously, because obviously I drive the Buzz at the minute and give Lee a rest so he can race. So obviously you can't drink as much as things, so you can't socialise as much as you wanted to anyway.
And then let's just quickly go back to Skegness when Lee won. That must have been one of your proudest moments in your life.
We've still actually got, it's hung up on the wall somewhere. I'll get it for you if you want.
All right, excellent. So obviously those who were watching will know the story behind what happened when Lee was put onto the back row of the World Final because Derek had a problem on the car. And is this the reason of the problem with your engine?
That was the culprit on the night.
Right.
He ground them down when he came out.
They'd knocked all the teeth off the flywheel at this one point.
Right.
And the flywheel always stayed back up at the same point. Yeah. And they actually, even though we put a new starter motor on, it wouldn't. You can see it wouldn't start the engine. There's about 9 teeth, 10 teeth missing off there.
Wow.
And it wouldn't start the engine. And it was Peter Folding that turned around and said, Derek, you'd be stupid to go out there with an engine that won't start.
Yeah.
And he said, think about it, Lee's first reserve.
Yeah.
He said, you've got a car that if you go in a crash, you ain't going to start it.
You're going to get pummeled, aren't you, if you're stuck.
Lee's got a car that could actually win the World Final, even from the back. And that was Peter's words. And yeah, I never even thought about it. It was Peter Folding that more or less.
But in your wildest dreams, you you couldn't have thought that Lee would have won from the back row.
That was definitely fate on the.
Yeah.
What happened was complete fate. What happened with Lee in the semi-final at Birmingham was a strange one because he was away for the semi-final at Birmingham and came across some back market. I don't know if it was soda or something like that. But he had to avoid somebody, and the fuel tap that we had at the time, the tap was a perfectly good fuel tap, but it was a little bit weak on the on-off, and when he avoided and got a bit of contact, it actually shut the fuel off.
Right.
How we'd mounted it shut the fuel off. He had no idea about that, carried on going, ran out of fuel, and he was still half a lap up on anybody, ran out of fuel and just pulled off into the middle. Thought it was a problem with the ignition or whatever. Right. It wouldn't start. And I actually qualified 10th,
right, and
that's why I got in.
Yes, yeah.
And then vice versa, you know, when Lee was in the runoff at Skeggy, he was up to 3rd place, and I think he was behind 300.
300. Can't remember his name. Paul Carter. There we go.
Paul Carter, correct. Yeah. And Paul made a really crappy restart when Lee was behind him.
Yeah.
And Lee was actually right up with 2nd and 1st place, apart from Paul Carter being in between, and then lost almost half a lap again because of Paul's crappy start, whether he did on purpose or not, we'll never know. But he managed to get past them and finish 3rd and was just behind when they went over the line. Right. Unfortunate, but they gave him a reserve place.
Yeah.
Best reserve.
But it just shows you the ups and downs of this sport, doesn't it? Where one minute you can be top of the pile, winning a race.
Oh, yeah,
next race, Grand National, you could be in fence.
Yeah, correct.
With your car in
I
bits, because
mean,
we've had that.
You've got to keep on top of the cars, really. It's really trying to keep on top of the cars. And when Trigger's Broom here, we had the one year that we didn't actually go through the car, strip it down, repaint it. Every year it gets stripped down, repainted, and everything done. And the one year that we didn't do that, we carried on the next season as the car looked all right. And then we had loads of problems with it, and it was actually we used to run a valve that was an accu brake, called an accu brake. Mm-hmm. We never actually used the actual thing. It was supposed to help the back end spiking and turning the car.
Okay.
And Lee kept having problems with his brakes, everything like that. We changed we changed cylinders, we changed all sorts. And eventually we found out this accu brake, it was actually leaking the fluid back each time and everything like that.
Oh, right.
And what happened, it was like just causing the pedal to do what it wanted sometimes. Sometimes you have a brake, sometimes you wouldn't. Sometimes it'd be a good pedal, sometimes it'd be a bad pedal. And because we hadn't gone through the car, that was one of the things that we found out.
So yeah, so they do say preparation is a big thing, don't they? I think with me going around all the workshops, etc., it's really opened my eyes as to how much work you guys have to do.
Yeah.
Because obviously, with me helping Nigel out, unfortunately, I can't go down and help him out during the week because it's just not practical. And it is a side that, as a fan, it's like, wow, you know, you could spend every minute of every day in here and still have jobs to do,
That's why I get annoyed really with some people on the internet, because they have no idea some of the questions that get asked on the internet, and there's supposed to be people that have been around the sport for 10, 15 years, and they ask questions that you just think, why do you not know that if you've been around the sport for so long? You know what I mean? It's just silly questions.
Yeah.
But the best times we've had with the cars is when usually me and Lee working together before we go to a meeting, putting the car, you know, on the scales and checking stuff, and I might point something out to Lee that like he might have been all right, and I think, well, I don't think that's right.
Okay.
And we've gone through different stuff, and that's the best, you know, when he's won British 3 times. We've always come up with the car, you know, loads of times, even world finals and stuff like that. You know, we go through the car as best we can. He's played about with shale car a lot, tried a lot of different little bits of things. He's got that a lot better. He wants to build his own car, but unfortunately, time-wise, he's not got to be able to at the minute.
Of course.
But the old car, the other shale car, that's going really well anyway at the minute.
Excellent.
It's just sometimes it's just you get the message. It's just the money side of it is big at the minute. You know what I mean? It's the input that's on that people don't see. Shootout series, when that comes up, you've really got to be on your game, putting new tyres on them for finals and stuff like that, and if you're not, you're fractionally off, and you know, it's expensive. It's expensive. But saying that, I think if they brought the rules back a bit, you could still get plenty of cars out there that don't cost a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, everybody who's watching, do stick with us. We are going to have Dave Beresford on in a couple of moments when he's maybe come back from Blue or something. He's just nipped up there. Anybody who's watching, please, we've got Derek on, which is brilliant for him to take a few minutes of his time. Any questions at all, please do get them in, and then we can ask Derek them, of course. So, compared to I don't want to say the old days, but compared to the years gone by, do you think, as a spectator, do you think the sport is better or worse?
Spectator-wise, it's still fantastic sport to be with and watch and everything like that. There's just so many other things that people can do these days. It's what we've got to think about, you know, with your internet and your television and live screening some stuff like as you're doing now. That this is great for fans, but you know when you start seeing all, you know, if you're 200 miles from a stadium or 150 miles from a stadium and you've not got a lot of money, you know, in the old days you'd still go to watch your favourite driver to race. Now you sit down and within a day or so
you can watch the race anyway.
You can watch it and all that, and you know what I mean. It's like Formula 1 Grand Prix racing, isn't it? You know, idea. Everybody pays for Sky to watch it live. And you can watch it on Channel 4 now. And, you know, but it's still got big people going there because it's big money.
Brilliant. Well, we do really appreciate your time. We've got nearly close to 200 people watching, which is the most I've had live, which has been brilliant. So we really do appreciate it. Could be something, start a new series of back in the day sort of interviews with drivers who were still around the sport.
We get a few older drivers come down here who take quite a lot of interest in Michael and Lee. Dave's come down here pretty regularly. We have Len Wolverton coming down. We even have Michael's granddad comes down sometime, which is the Keith. Really the old, before my time when he was racing, but he tells the lads what he should be running. So it's quite funny that, and they start doing that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, these are great for the fans, and we try to keep fans updated, you know what I mean, whenever.
Excellent.
And we do appreciate the fans coming around and asking questions whether they're track, so don't be afraid.
Brilliant, excellent. Yeah, that's the good thing about our sport is that you can approach a driver, can't you, and have a good chat. And I always say that.
That is the best part about stock as well, being able to go in them pits and get close up to drivers. You know, your Toms, your Lees, you know, your Dan Johnsons, all these people.
Anybody.
You get up nice and close and see what goes on and see how much they're working on the cars. It's a buzz for them. And that's the best, one of the best parts of the sport.
Brilliant. Well, I better go a quick word with Dave now, if we can get him for a couple of minutes. So do appreciate it, Derek. Thank you very much. So we can just grab hold of Dave, if he's okay. So good afternoon. And thank you very much for taking time out just to come on here for a few moments. Now it's good to see you because I know you have been ill recently.
Yeah.
So it is good to see you out and about. So how are you feeling yourself?
Not too bad. I had heart attack and then a double bypass.
Oh gosh, right.
So it was not this October, the October before. And they put me on all sorts of medication and I just wasn't right. It went on and on and on, and eventually I came off this particular tablet in October, and I just went brilliant, felt brilliant. I couldn't walk upstairs while I was on it, and they kept me on it for 12 months. Anyway, yeah, I'm feeling good now.
Excellent. So, just about the sport then. So, obviously, you're probably the perfect person to ask about how the racing was back in the day and how it is now. Well, how does it compare for you?
Just expense.
Yeah.
The expense has gone out the window. You know, these engines are costing a fortune, everything. Tyres, the lot. They used to regulate the tyres, which regulated what engine you put in, really. And now they can put great big tyres on and fancy engines, and it's just, the cost is astronomical.
Yeah. And have you managed to get to any meetings at all
I did
recently?
a few, yeah.
So as a spectator, how do you see it compares?
It's pretty similar, really, to how it's always been. I wouldn't say that they're going. I don't know about lap times, but the spectacle I don't think there's as much spectacle there as there used to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as in, like, as a show rather than just racing, as in all the other presentation, fireworks, all that sort of stuff. Is that what you mean?
No, not really. The actual spectacle from a point of view of action.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah. At one time, you just had like half a dozen red tops and a lot of low-grade drivers, and there used to be all sorts of action with them. But now everybody's on a par, really, with all this gear.
Okay. We have had one question in, actually, off someone already on live. What's been your favourite car that you've driven yourself?
Good question. I built one in 1988. That was a good car. I built one in 86 and decided it was too heavy.
Right.
And I'd lighten it down, so I lightened it down. In 1988, I brought this other one back out, and went pretty good, really.
And then you had a bit of a gap and then came back. Was it early 2000s, I think it was?
Yeah.
What was it? What's behind coming back at that point?
I had a spare engine there. And Andrew Jackson said, you'd be better wrapping a car around that engine. I said, well, you do some on it then if you want. Anyway, we did it between us. Andy did a lot towards it, but so it went all right. I got into the semi-final and got through to World Final at Ipswich. Went out and blew the flipping engine up. So.
Oh dear.
Somebody said that was the best part at race.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best World Final, if I remember rightly.
Skidding about in that on oil.
I think that was the one. Was it Andy Smith just went off and nobody caught him, if I remember rightly?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, he just went off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right. Well, do appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Brilliant. Like I just said to Derek, I might tap you up for a proper interview one day. And when we do somewhat of the older generation, let's say, of drivers. But I do appreciate your time. I know you're busy at the moment.
Yeah,
but thank you very much. It's good to see you around as well, of course.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you, of course, as well.
And you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Cheers. Okay, so that's going to be us from Team 512. Just want to say thank you to Derek, Michael and Dave Beresford. Lee's actually doing some work for a change. So I'll actually video it to show proof that he does work. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Not sure about doing one next Saturday because I'm down at Jake's birthday party, so I might try and get Team Harry on next Saturday afternoon if I get down there early enough. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you're not watching it live, it's going to be all the usual places, of course. And look out for announcements of other drive interviews over the winter before the start of the season again. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you very much.